Hey, how's it going, guys? It has been a long freaking time, hasn't it? Hey, how's it going, guys? Before I start this video, I just want to say sorry for any background noise you might hear. I'm still working on my audio setup, and it's kind of being a pain in the ass. So, bear in mind that, and I hope you guys watch this to the end because I have a lot of explaining to do. Anyways, as I said in the beginning, it has been way too long. And this video should have been made about a year ago, and it's been in the making for a year, but I've been procrastinating way too much. And I've been having so much trouble, doing this. It was been too much, and I think I finally just got the motivation to do it. So, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where to begin, but I'm gonna start back from where I can remember, because it's been so bloody long. I think it's been 3 years nearly. Where I left with no explanation, no goodbye. I just disappeared, and people thought I was dead. And not gonna lie, I pushed a lot of depressing stuff on Twitter, so people kinda thought I killed myself. But I promise you, I didn't kill myself. I'm alive and I'm good. Alright, so let's start from the beginning. So, as much as you guys know, I used to make intros on YouTube for YouTubers and stuff. And as far as I know, you guys loved what I did. And I had a lot of respect for what I did. And I enjoyed doing it a lot. It was my hobby. I was pretty good at it, and I feel like I defined the 2D intro thing, I guess, if that makes sense. That's how I see it. I started that trend, because not many people did that before I started really getting into it, I feel. But yeah, I how do I say this? I didn't keep doing that for long. I started losing the motivation to do that because I feel like people started just using me and just messing with me in a way. That's how I see it. Because everyone would want one, like an intro, and then I'd make one, and then they would say they're so thankful, it's so amazing, and then I would never see it. They would never use it. They would never say a thank you or anything. I know it's so stupid, but to me that was a big thing. I took pride when I made something because I didn't charge money. I took pride when people were happy with the work. They thanked me. They told everyone this guy's amazing, kind of thing. That's how I did it. And then that all stopped happening, and I slowly started losing motivation to do it. I started slowly moving out of intros and stuff because it felt like a waste of time. I would spend days, nights. I would stay up all night working on these things, and then it just felt like a waste of time. It sucked because I put so much pride into these. So, anyways, long story short, that came to an end. I made an intro for one of my friends. It was my coolest one, and then after that, I decided I don't want to do this no more. I stopped making intros. So, I slowly started moving on to graphic design. I was watching a lot of tutorials, and I was watching a lot of people who did graphics, and I was trying to get into that. I was thinking, okay, cool. Okay, intros was a cooler thing. Maybe I can get into graphic design. And then that's pretty much what I started doing. That was my thing. I was working with Photoshop and Cinema 4D, and making little renders and graphics, and every time I make something random, I post to Twitter, and people are like, oh, that's so cool. And yeah, that's what I did for a little while, but again, that really didn't last, and it's not something with people. I didn't lose motivation per se, it's just, it took a weird turn. So a lot of the people I followed on Twitter, I started seeing a lot of stuff about people finding that person, people getting in relationships, people starting families and stuff. And here was little Tyrannical sitting in his bedroom in his father's house with absolutely no one. All I had was my YouTube and my Twitter. And I was starting to feel really lonely, and it sucked. I felt empty, incomplete. And I kind of wanted to go on to that point in my life where I had someone and I could start my life. I had this dream where I wanted to have a family one day and a wife one day, and this is the fantasy I lived in, and it was starting to slowly eat away at me. It was starting to actually make me really depressed, because everyone I know had someone and I had no one, and it sucked. So I decided that what I wanted to do was I'm gonna step away from this internet and try to focus on my life. So I started focusing more on my job, working more, making more money, and I reached out to an ex-girlfriend of mine she was a friend, ex-girlfriend, just this weird thing. Anyways, well, not more like she reached out to me on my birthday, about 3 years ago. And it was just, we were gonna hang out and talk, because she always used to message me on my birthday, because we'd hang out, we'd stop talking, and then she'd message me on my birthday, we'd hang out, we'd stop talking. It's just this weird, screwed up cycle. Anyways, so I started talking to her, and I used to have to beg her and plead and do anything I could just to spend some time with her, because she seemed like she was always busy and always seemed to ignore me, and it sucked. So I'd beg her just to see me, right? And she never replied. So, and then she told me get a phone and we can talk more and stuff. So long story short, I got my first phone. We started talking more. We started hanging out for days, which then turned into months. And then after a long time of effort, and I finally hit that point where I was happy. I got something I wanted. I had a girlfriend. And at this point, I thought I had the one that I wanted. I had the girl of my dreams, who made me happier than anything in the world. Like, I'd never experienced this joy in my life. I felt complete, and I felt like anything in the world was possible. I own the world at this point in my mind. I felt like $1 million. I spent every day with her, every second with her. I had so many great memories built, and nothing could have broken that. God, I'm gonna cry right now, jeez. I'm actually gonna cry right now. Just replaying this in my mind is making me really emotional, so I'm sorry if you hear me start sounding emotional. It's just it's a really big point in my life, and it really sucked that the way everything went. So, everything was perfect, and I had no idea that was never gonna last, and that everything was just a dream. And I feel like it was just a dream, and it never meant anything at this point. So things are great, but not before long they started going downhill. These little things they started so small, but there were things with her where she started to try to control my life in a way. It was such small things like check in and tell wherever I go and message whenever I go places and stuff, right? It was like, tell me when you get to work, tell me when you leave work, tell me when you get home, tell me when you wake up, tell me when you go to bed. It was small things, that's usual. I have no problem with those. But then it started getting weird. So it started getting bad. The first time I can remember is I was sitting in her house with her family, and the first true fight happened here. It was something about, she has this new brother at this point. She had a baby brother at this point. He was like a year old. And they were like, hey, you want to hold him? And I was like, I really don't want to, because at this point I was not a big fan of kids, right? It was just this weird thing. And then she has a huge family. One of her sisters jumped in and said, like, how are you ever going to have a family one day? And I said, that's never going to happen. And then she ran out. She looked at me and gave me a weird look and then ran out. And I had to follow her. And then we had a long talk about how she was disappointed in me and how that was all she wanted. It seems so small, but in my mind, that was where this all started. That was the first time that I felt so insecure around her. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. From that point, it was just small things. Like, one point, I bought someone a coffee who was in line at me in Tim Hortons or something. They were taking forever. I was in a rush for work, and I was like, oh my god. The person in front of me didn't have change. I'm like, okay, I'll pay for your coffee. Just take your coffees, go. I'm late for work kind of thing. I told her because I heard about this whole paying it forward thing, right? But it was kind of a reverse paying it forward, paying it from the back kind of thing. So I told her about it, and I felt proud. I felt happy that I did something nice for someone because I love helping people. And where I was expecting her to say, wow, you're such a nice person, she snapped on me. And she turned it the wrong way. She turned it the whole, what do these people look like? What did she look like? How old was she? And she made it look like I was trying to cheat on her or something, or I was trying to move and make moves on some girl. And I wasn't. I was just in rush for work, and I was just paying for a coffee. That was the first really ridiculous one where I'm like, what the hell? What is going on here? This doesn't make sense. That was the true first one. And from there on, I'm not going to get into real details, but it just started getting really ugly. It became, like, every week we had a fight over something completely absurd, like, I would message her too much, or, like, I would try to help her and, like, motivate her and get her out of, like, this, she was going through a depressing time herself, and I would try to motivate her and give her, like, this speech of, like, everything's gonna be okay, and she'd get mad at me and tell me not to talk to her. And this happened so often, it started driving me insane. So what happened is I started talking to some people on Twitter. Some people that I talk to all the time. And I would start talking about her. Because I wanted advice, because I was new to this. She was kind of my first real, like, solid girlfriend. This was my first true relationship, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I wanted some help, and I wanted some opinions, because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I was walking into a minefield with nothing. So, I talked to people, and then down like a week or so later, she found out. She found I was talking to people, and she started freaking out at me. So, she gave me an ultimatum. She said, you need to get past this, like, Twitter stuff. So, I deleted my Twitter for her. I had a lot of followers and everything. I deleted my Twitter, and I deleted all my YouTube videos. Because at the time, I wanted to make a point to her that I cared and I loved her, and that she was more important than some dumb online things. That's pretty much how I worded it. So 30 days later, which is the time frame it takes to delete a Twitter, my Twitter was gone. I vanished off the face of the earth, and then people started saying that I was dead. Which I'm not, and I wasn't. But people started saying I'm dead. So, yeah, I started focusing on my relationship. I was done with YouTube. I was done Twitter. I literally didn't even come online anymore. I had no reason to. So, I'm not going to get any more details. Let's just say it didn't last long again. Things started getting hairy. Things started getting bad. Me and her started fighting like crazy. This is like a year in the future. And from that point, it never stopped. Like, I can't even get into details anymore. Just, it got so bad. It got so ugly. And I didn't know what to do. It started becoming abusive, and controlling. She started controlling every aspect of my life. I wasn't allowed leaving my house unless she gave me permission. I wasn't even allowed watching shows or movies or anything. I had shows that I've watched for God knows how long, and then she would see me watching a show. I'm like, you can't watch that. Because she'd do this thing where she'd go on a website to see the rating on the show, and she'd treat me like a child. And if anything had any sort of adult theme, she'd be like, no, you're not allowed to watch that or I'm leaving you. That was kind of the thing. So she started controlling my life in that aspect. I wasn't allowed watching shows. I wasn't allowed watching movies. I wasn't allowed talking to people. She made sure that I cut off every person in my life, all my friends. Everyone that I had known for so long, she made sure I never talked to them. Ex-co-workers, just friends in general. She made sure I cut everyone off. And just so I was alone, isolated, and all I had was her. After that, she started pushing me to go against my family. If my family needed help, I had to be with her. I couldn't help my family. I wasn't allowed to. I had to be with her every second of every day. She took complete ownership of me like I'm a pet and didn't let me to do anything. My life started really falling apart. And I started falling into a really bad depression. I'd never felt this pain in so long. But she made sure to push that pain on me. It didn't feel like a relationship no more. It felt like a job. No matter how hard I tried to please her, no matter how hard I tried to make her happy and make things right, nothing ever worked out. She started getting mad at the things I said. I couldn't make jokes. I couldn't do anything right. It sucked. I was going to the point where I was so depressed. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to end it. I didn't want to be alive no more at this point. I didn't know what to do, so I actually started sliding back into the internet and stuff. I wanted to get back into YouTube at this point, right? So I got on my programs and stuff. I wanted to get back into the way things work, kind of like how I do now. But I couldn't do it. I was too down. I had no motivation to do it. I had nothing. I was in a dark place. I had just got forced to quit my job. So at this point, I had no job. I had no money. All I had was my computer. And I tried so hard to get back into it, but I was so depressed at the time. I couldn't do it. I was falling apart, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to go focus on my job, and then I'm going to come back. And that's how I'm going to do things. So, this is where the absolute stupidest part of this whole, thing happened. So, I went to go work on jobs and stuff. I found this really great job. It was great paying. It was kind of my dream job. And I think I only got one day of work there. I only got one day. And then she came bounding after me. And she forced me, threatened me to quit this job. And I'm not going to get into details because I don't want to relive it right now, but there was just some really nasty threats that, I'm not going to lie, would make any guy just shiver and tremble in his skin, because there's stuff that some guy does not want to hear from his girlfriend. They are painful words that would scar anyone. They were a worst nightmare. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to go into details because I can't go that far. So, I quit the job. I pretty much screwed my family over. At this point, my family absolutely despised me. They were pissed off. My family started hating her and everything was just so bad. I convinced her that I'm going to go against my family and stuff or something, because I was out of options. So I was going to turn against my family for a bit and see if I could please her that way, and then I'd fix everything afterwards. Yeah, that never worked. It just got even uglier and uglier, and the threats got even worse. I'm going to say 2-3 months later, I decided that I was going to end this. So I went out and started searching for work, and I decided the first paycheck that I get from this job, I'm going to use every penny I can of it to do something for myself to move past. I was going to do something absolutely disgusting and absurd to get over her and leave her. And I felt like in my mind it was the only option I had. So I found another job at a hotel. It was a contracting job. When I first got the job, just like the last one, she started threatening me and saying, you're not allowed to work and you can't do this, you can't do that. And yeah, that's how that happened. But I managed to convince her to let me work a day, and then I worked that day and she said it was okay. But with her doing the threats and my family at the time driving me up the wall because everyone was on me, everyone was on my back like a big weight, I felt like I was going crazy. I only managed to get 3 days of this job before I lost it. I made a stupid mistake because I was going insane, and they fired me. They told me to go home. They told me just don't come back because I made a bunch of stupid mistakes because I think I was going insane at the time. That night, I went out, I bought a bunch of booze. I got absolutely hammered, and I went out with my girlfriend there. And I snapped. I absolutely snapped. I was in a Tim Hortons and I freaked out. I don't remember why. It's a little hazy. I can't remember what it was. But I snapped. I started freaking out. They called the cops on me. I got arrested. And the next thing I know, I wake up in the hospital. I had got admitted to the mental ward of a hospital. I was absolutely wasted out of my mind. They were giving me drugs, they were taking my blood and stuff, and that was it. That was my life for like the whole weekend. I was in a hospital. I wasn't allowed to leave. I had nothing. I didn't have my phone. The only thing I had on me was this paper, I'm gonna call it a paper outfit. That was all I had, this paper outfit, which literally didn't cover nothing. Around a bunch of other crazy psychopaths who I didn't know in this little area of a hospital. I wasn't allowed escaping. I was stuck in that area. I spent most of my time sleeping. But on the last day when I felt like I was going to lose it, I actually went and talked to this one guy who was kind of my age, and he was going through the same kind of thing as me. He got me through this situation. He managed to help me get out of there. He told me how to lie my way out, and I did exactly that. I lied my way out of the hospital. I convinced them that it was just a phase, and they let me go home. I went home. My girlfriend there was absolutely scared. She said she was absolutely terrified for me in the hospital. She had visited me. Oh, jeez, this is such a screwed up. Oh, this is painful to remember. But yeah, I'm gonna say right now, I know that she lied, but she convinced me that she felt bad and she didn't want to hurt me anymore, which was a big lie. I think we had a week where things were okay, and then once again, the threats, the abuse, and the torture continued. I don't remember what happened after this. I don't remember a whole half of a year of my life. But all I know is the last year, half a year or whatever, have been absolute torture. Like, I couldn't let anyone I know live this, because it's the scariest thing. I couldn't wish this upon anyone. Like, I've been going absolutely insane with this girl, pushing my buttons every chance she can. Like, she got to the point where she started, like, taking money from me. Like, every fight, she would threaten me. And she would say, you either pay me, or I go sleep with some other guy. This guy at the point was her ex, by the way, which I'm not going to go into details about that because it's just fucked up, but I got threatened every time. Every week, I had like hundreds of dollars robbed from me. I'm pretty sure last year alone, I had about $2,500 blackmailed from me. If I didn't pay up, she was going to do something, and she was going to make my life a living hell. This year, the same thing. It never stopped for 2 years now. It just kept taking money from me, threatening me unless I paid her, saying it was fair for my actions that I gotta pay for what I've done. And like, I'm pretty sure she's now stolen like $4,000 from me. Sorry about that. But, and actually this happened literally over a week ago. The same thing. Because I have some dead-end job and I don't make much anymore. But she still manages to steal everything I can from me. In the last 2 years of my life, I don't think I've bought myself one good thing. Other than like food to get me through the year and like clothes. I don't have anything to show for the last 2 years. I have nothing that makes me like happy. She's taken everything from me. Everything I've enjoyed in my life, like I've bought phones and she's destroyed them. I've bought clothes, she's destroyed them. Headphones, she's destroyed them. She's destroyed like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff and stolen thousands from me. And it's really taken a huge toll on me. So it just got to the point literally a couple weeks ago where I decided this is it. I'm breaking away. I've spent the last couple of weeks fighting to get everything back because I didn't have anything on my computer anymore. I didn't have any of my programs. I didn't know how to use any of them. I'd forgotten it all. So I got my After Effects. I don't know if you guys see my last video. I made an intro kind of thing and say I'm back. I got my Sony Vegas. I got all my stuff back, and to be honest, that was absolute hell. With everything I was going through, that was a lot of work. Because nothing seemed to work for me. Programs didn't work for me. I had to do them the hard way. It took me weeks to get everything installed. But I think I think I'm finally at the point where I think I can come back. And that is why I'm making this video right now. And it took a lot. And this is kind of where I want to say a thank you. I want to thank my two best friends from back in the day. Nico and Taylor. You guys really... You guys saved my ass. You guys were... They were the motivation to come back. They're the only two friends who I used to think of every day and how much I missed talking to them. How we'd spend days and late nights just talking to each other and playing games and just having a great time. Happiest moments of my life. And I would never give those up. And I wish I could go back to that. I missed my life the way it was. I miss everyone. I miss you all. And I'm hoping you guys can forgive me for leaving. I want to come back. And I want to see. I'm going to put in honest effort in seeing if I can regain all this. I have a lot of ideas that I'm hoping you guys might like. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a lot of work. And I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I'm coming back. Tyrannical Films is coming back. And he wants to get back into the things he loves, entertaining people. No matter what it is, if I go back into making intros, if I go into graphics, I don't know. It's still kind of hazy of what I want to do and what I want to make my channel, like, become. But I'm going to take I have an idea already, and I'm going to see where that goes. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers, I used to quit a lot. Like, I've had 2 channels, and I used to quit a lot, so one of my first ideas was I was hoping to do, like, a roast kind of thing. I think that'd be pretty funny. And let anyone who's anyone, like, anyone at all who's subscribed to me, like, I'm gonna make an email, and I'm gonna publish the email on, like, my Twitter or something, which you guys should follow. I made a new Twitter. You guys should go follow my new Twitter, and I'm thinking of making an email and having you guys email me some videos talking about me. Like, anything you want. Anything at all, no matter what it is. I'll even give you guys some material, some pictures, anything. Just to roast me and make fun of me. And I think it'll be a good kind of thing, because I know it'll be made all fun. Because I used to be a piece of shit back in the day. I was an asshole. I know I got in a lot of beef, and I'm in a lot of trouble. And I think it'd be fun to look back and I'd make fun of it. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have a few ideas in the future. I'm getting into surf on CS:GO. That's been my biggest, like, relaxing thing in my life. I've been doing it for about a year now, and it's just the most relaxing thing in my life, and that's what I've been getting into. So I got a few ideas behind that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm not gonna lie. It's late at night, and I'm making this video at like 12 o'clock at night. I'm really tired, and I don't know what to say anymore. I think I've got off my chest most of the stuff, but yeah, it's just pretty much explaining that I've been in a bad relationship. My life has been controlled. I've been in a bad place, but I'm finally getting into a good place now. I'm making things better, bit by bit. I'm recovering from all this. And I'm going to end this video with a quick message. Kind of a quick motivation thing. And that is, if you guys ever feel like you're in a bad place like I've been, don't give up. There's always hope. I don't care how bad things seem and how hopeless everything is. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It may be so far away, but as long as you keep fighting, you can get to the end of that tunnel. Don't ever give up. Everything ends eventually. There's always a bright future. Never give up, please. If I had given up, I wouldn't be here today. And I've had so many moments where I almost didn't make it. But I'm here right now talking to you guys. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into this. I'm getting really emotional, so I hope I explained enough. I've probably been droning on so much. You guys are probably thinking, what the fuck is he talking about? What the hell are you talking about, Ty? This makes no sense. It's just me venting. That's all it is. I just want to vent this and get it off my chest to move past this dark point in my life. Anyways, if you guys did watch this, I want to thank you so much. It means so much to me to make it through this video. Thank you so much. You're a legend. You are all legends. You are all amazing people. Thank you so much. But I'm gonna end this right here. So, once again, thank you so much for sticking around as long as you did. Like I said, this guy has just been through a lot of trouble, and he's trying to fix his life right now and come back to his origins. Anyways, guys, there's a few links in the description. I just want to say, follow my Twitter. If you feel like it, add me on Steam. And I'll probably also have a Discord server. We'll see. I don't know. Discord's kind of being a pain in the ass, but yeah. Follow me and just follow what I'm doing. I'm going to make a comeback, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. You are all the most amazing people, and I missed you so much. Oh god, I suck at ending, so I don't know how to end stuff. It's been so long. I guess I'll just see you guys next time. If you follow me on social media, I'll let you guys know what's gonna happen in the future. And yeah, best of luck to me, eh? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll I guess see you guys another time, or talk to you guys another time. God, I am so freaking awkward at this. It's been so long. Alright. I'm just gonna stop. Okay, bye. Ending right here. Bye.